Glove's going to get a run out. He hammers it down.
It's live action out there.
We're back. Time for another edition of the Carolina Insider. It's a rapid reactions edition. I don't know if we can call it rapid when there's so much happening after the game that it takes us this long to be here, but we're excited that we are. It's all presented by Modelo, an official beer of the Tar Heels. I'm Jones Angell. He's Adam Lucas. And Adam, we are here after really hard-fought game between Carolina and NC State. A well-played game. Both teams had some really good moments. Carolina able to win by 11, 80-69 the final, and the two dominant factors in this game, Adam, it's no big surprise. It's Armando Bacot, it's RJ Davis. Armando Bacot becomes Carolina's all-time leading rebounder, all-time leader in double-doubles with his 23-point, 18-rebound performance. RJ Davis leads the way with 26. There you see Armando, just one of many plays that he was able to bring in a rebound tonight. But those two guys, Adam, felt like they were the reason Carolina was able to win tonight.
Yeah, we market tested meandering reactions, and that didn't really have the same ring to it. And luckily, the Tar Heels did not meander. When RJ hit that shot, banked in the three-pointer in the first half, as the shot clock was under 1 second, you felt like it might be his night. But here's the thing. It's been his night for about a month now, as he's really shot the ball well. He gets those 26 points on just 8 field goal attempts. But he was so good getting to the free throw line, 14 of 14 from the line on a night when all the Tar Heels were really good from the free throw line, 36 for 39. Armando Bacot was a big part of that. Caleb Love also, he shoots 9 of 10, made some big ones at the end. As the Tar Heels didn't shoot it great other than Armando and RJ Davis, but they got to the line over and over and over, and they converted.
Adam, I mean, there will be, I'm sure, some discussion about the free throw disparity in this game. Carolina 36 of 39. State was great at the line as well with fewer attempts. They were 12 of 12. I thought they were fouls. I do think that Carolina very purposefully went to the rim, either by getting it to Bacot or on the drive. You'll hear Hubert Davis talk about this some here coming up in just a second. And as Coach Davis also alludes to, State was the team that fouls the most in the ACC is NC State. And so Carolina tried to take advantage of that, and that resulted in a lot of free throw attempts.
That was the game plan. I mean, I don't think you can get mad that Carolina shot that many free throws when that was the plan. Take advantage of an area where State is weak defensively. They're not always as disciplined with their hands. Get to the line. You saw it right from the very first play of the game. Carolina pounds the ball inside to Bacot, as we've been saying for weeks that they need to do. And they just repeatedly did that over and over, and eventually it earned them some free throws. That's how you play.
Adam, before we get to the conversations, I talked with Hubert Davis. Adam talked to the new leading rebounder in Carolina history, Armando Bacot. There was, of course, a big play in the second half as well, where unfortunately the leading scorer in the ACC, really talented player for NC State, Terquavian Smith, was injured on a foul on Leaky Black on a drive to the basket. Smith, after being down for a good 10-ish minutes on the court, was eventually taken off on a backboard and then onto a stretcher, taken off. It appeared as though that he had his right arm in an air cast at that point in time as well. Hubert Davis talks about this when I talked to him, but certainly a scary moment in this game.
Really was. You haven't seen very much like that at the Smith Center, so certainly hoping for the best for Terquavian Smith, who's a tough player, tough to guard. And Leaky Black was doing a credible job. Smith was 5 for 15, 1 for 4 from 3 up until that point. Thought Leaky Black had played pretty good defense, but that definitely changed the game for both sides because both were without a key player. Of course, we've already gotten some questions about, does this mean Leaky Black can't play against Syracuse? That's not what that means. Unfortunately, you can think back to Brady Manick, so Leaky Black will be available for both halves of that game against Syracuse on Tuesday.
Coach Davis will talk more about that, both from his thoughts on Terquavian Smith and his thoughts on Leaky Black after this play in which Leaky was given a flagrant 2 foul and ejected from the game. So we'll let Coach Davis talk about that. You're going to hear from him, hear from Armando Bacot. Adam and I will be back on the back end to wrap things up after that here on the Carolina Insider. I'm alongside the head coach of the Tar Heels, Hubert Davis. Coach, so much to talk about in this one. Hard to start anywhere, though, other than Armando Bacot. He becomes the all-time leading rebounder in Carolina history, the all-time leader in double-doubles. He passed Tyler Hansbrough for rebounds, Billy Cunningham for double-doubles, 2 all-time greats in Tar Heel history. What an accomplishment today for Armando.
Well, before talking about Armando, I just thinking about Terquavian Smith. He's such an unbelievable kid and player, and my hope is that he's just a little hurt, not injured. You never want to see anybody get hurt or injured out there on the floor, and he's just wanted to let everybody that we're thinking about him. I'm thinking about him, and he's a fantastic kid and player. And but you're right, Armando. I don't know how to describe it. When you pass Billy Cunningham and Tyler Hansbrough, you're doing something pretty good. And I've said this before. One of the best things that a coach can have is what you're getting from your players and your team. And so every day at practice and every day at a game, I know exactly what I'm going to get from Armando. You're going to get somebody that plays hard, somebody that plays hard not only for himself but for his team and for this program. And that rebounding record, I know the scoring record is regarded as one of the best or the best record, but rebounding is just that's huge. You look at the names that he passed, and you're talking about the double-doubles, and we're just halfway through the season. He's got some more rebounds to go, and so just so proud of Armando, and not only a great game tonight, but an unbelievable season, an unbelievable career.
Coach, it felt like Armando and R.J. Davis were the two dominant factors for you tonight in controlling this game. How did you see it from your perspective on what particularly R.J. was able to do with the ball in his hands?
Well, one of the things that we talked about was we needed to attack the basket through poster penetration. In the ACC, we get to the free throw line more than anybody, and so our persistence in terms of attacking the basket allows us to score around the basket, but also get to the free throw line. On the other end, as great as NC State is, they're last in terms of fouling, and so something had to win out. And so I thought at the beginning of the game we settled for too many threes, and then once we put our head down and we started to attack the basket through penetration and also get the ball down low to Armando in the post, it put us in great positions to get to the free throw line, and we're a pretty good free throw shooting team.
Carolina 36 of 39 from the free throw line in this one. Coach, this just felt like a big game. A lot of energy around this game.
Feel like it. It was a big game. I mean, this was huge. It was NC State is so good, and they were feeling really good and very confident about themselves. And as I said before, there is nothing better than an afternoon ACC game. And walking out of that tunnel at the beginning of the game, it felt like a big game, and it was. And I'm just really happy of the guys and really proud of them that we came out with a win against a very good NC State team.
I was going to ask you, State went on that big run in the first half. They grabbed a lead by 8. You guys responded pretty quickly with a 12-0 run to get back in control. Just a really nice response from your guys.
It was. We got behind because we were shooting too many jump shots, and then we said, okay, let's start attacking the basket. We were able to get into the penalty. We were able to make free throws. We were able to catch up, and then defensively, it kept us out of transition. Where NC State is really special is when they're out on the break in transition. And so, us being able to get to the basket and get fouled allowed our defense to get set. And so against a set defense, I thought we did pretty well against their sets. Leaky was fantastic defensively. I thought Caleb did an unbelievable job. RJ was picking up full court the entire game. It was live out there. Our guys were ready to go.
Just two more things. How do you talk to Leaky after this? I'm sure he's disappointed to be ejected. I'm sure he's concerned that he was the person involved in what appeared to be a very serious play. How do you manage that with him?
Well, I talked with Leaky after the game, and you can't get any nicer as Leaky, all of our guys. And after the play and Terquavian was taken off the court, I went to Coach Keats and I said, I'm sorry that happened. I said, we don't teach that kind of stuff. And so, unfortunately, we have history of that with Brady Manick getting ejected in the Baylor game, and so now we know, and we were able to tell Leaky that doesn't do anything in terms of affecting you from playing in the Syracuse game. But Leaky's such a sweet guy and unbelievable teammate, and he would never do anything to hurt, to injure anybody. And I know he's upset, but Leaky's an unbelievable player and teammate.
Last thing, 93 team was back. You were teammates with a lot of those guys. Just how special.
Decided to win it as soon as I left, and so I've let that go. No, it was great having them back, and they came into the locker room after the game, and they were able to hang out with the players. And I just think being able to connect all the players, current, former players, that's what makes this place special. It's the shared experiences and the relationships that we have, and just to have them in the locker room talk about their togetherness and how their closeness allowed them to win a national championship in '93, and that's something that we have to do, is just our togetherness and our closeness allow us to be the best team that we can be.
Great win tonight for Carolina, 80-69 over NC State. Tar Heels improved to 6-3 in a crowded ACC right now. Coach, congratulations. Look forward to talking with you soon.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Alongside Armando Bacot after the Tar Heels beat NC State. Mondo, a lot of things happened for you today. Let's talk about the game first. That was a physical one. What was it like down there in the post, you and DJ Burns banging bodies?
Yeah, well, I mean, he a big guy, and I mean, I got 2 fouls early, so really that kind of stopped me from being able to be aggressive on the defensive end. I mean, I thought he did a good job of taking advantage of that because, I mean, he's big, but I mean, he's quick and he got a lot of good moves, so I thought he did a really good job of that. Unbelievable.
What were you trying to do to get the edge on him? I mean, the scoring was somewhat close, but the rebounding, you had a huge edge, obviously.
I was just trying to run him and tire him out and get him in foul trouble as fast as possible. That was really all I was trying to do.
You knew they were going to come right at you offensively. They were going to make you play defense. What did you feel like of Carolina's defensive effort today?
I thought today we did a really good job after probably like the first 5 minutes of really just getting after it on defense. I thought early their pressure affected us, and then our pressure started affecting them, and I think that's really when we saw the game change.
You told us last time one of the first things you look at is your turnovers. One of the keys Coach Davis talked about was limiting turnovers. You had none, and the team as a whole only had 7. How did you handle their pressure so well?
Yeah, well, I mean, all throughout the year we've had trouble struggling with teams that pressure like that, but I mean, I think that's just a testament just to our growth. We knew coming in, coaches told us they were going to pressure us, and we worked on it 2 days leading up to this game, and I thought the guards did a good job after the first like 4 or 5 minutes of just really taking over the game and controlling the pace, and that was huge for us.
Things got a little chippy there in that second half. When that kind of stuff is going on, what do you do to try to kind of keep things under control and make sure you're still playing?
I mean, really, I think it lit a fire under the team once Caleb got nicked up and then Leaky going out too with the flagrant. We knew we had to just turn it up even more, and the fans, they did a good job too of just kind of changing the atmosphere of the game and just getting hype, and it really helped us.
You had a situation last year where a player was ejected and then things kind of fell apart after that. Same official involved in that call. And then today a player's ejected and things do not fall apart. What'd you do better this time than you did last year in the Baylor game and the NCAA tournament?
Having composure, like you said, 4 out of the 5 of us that was out there was in that situation, and we kind of know that once one player goes out, you got to pick everybody else up, and we all got to play better and better. And I thought we did a good job of that today. Leaky was really good defensively today on Turquavian. He's one of the best scorers, if not the best scorer in the ACC. And I thought Leaky did a good job of disrupting him.
Let's talk about you a little bit. Were you keeping track as the rebounds piled up as to where you were?
Yeah, well, I mean, yesterday, VA, she brought some cookies in that was really good, and she told me if I got 18 rebounds, I can get another dozen or so of them. So that's really all I was going for.
I've heard about those. I heard they were good. You're now a 2-time Carolina all-time record holder. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, like I said, it's something I never really would have expected, but I guess I did a good job of just grabbing a lot of rebounds and getting lucky.
I think it was a little more than that. The now number 2 rebounder in Carolina history, Tyler Hansbrough, was here. What was it like to have him here on your day as you pass him in the record books?
Yeah, I mean, it was great because Tyler Hansbrough is obviously one of the greatest UNC players and college players of all time, and to be able to say that I have a record over him is just unbelievable, and I'm just happy.
I mean, at some point, do you have to start thinking of Armando Bacot that way?
I guess so, yeah. Coach Manuel, he tries to tell me to just be level-headed and just stay away from those things, so that's what I've been doing. That's
a level-headed Armando Bacot, but he's also a career record holder at Carolina twice over and a winner today. Tar Heels beat NC State. Mondo, thank you.
So the Tar Heels win 80-69 with the victory over NC State today. Tar Heels improve to 14-6 overall, and Adam 6-3 in conference play. And Man, the ACC is jumbled right now. Clemson's at 8-1. They got a three-pointer from Hunter Tyson with less than 10 seconds to go to beat Virginia Tech on Saturday evening. Virginia's at 7-2, and then it's either 5 or 6 teams after that are at 6-3. Duke is at 5-3, NC State and Florida State at 5-4. I mean, so Adam, you have a ton of teams there. I think that's 10 in total that are within 3 games of the conference lead right now. Just a lot of teams jumbled together at the top.
And the Tar Heels played most of that jumble over the remainder of the regular season. So they're going to have a chance to make their own impact. They don't really need help.
Yeah.
They just need to hold serve against these teams because they're going to face them all eventually, some of them more than once. So it's going to be a challenging last month and a half-ish of the regular season, but it's right where you want to be. You want to be in control. I'm not sure Carolina feels like it's played its best game yet, and think they've still got a couple things they want to improve, and it'll start Tuesday night against a team that's always tough to play, Syracuse, with, of course, the zone.
Yeah, and they are Syracuse, one of those teams that's 6-3 as well in conference play. At their place, they picked up a big road win in Atlanta against Georgia Tech earlier on Saturday. But in the Smith Center, it was the Tar Heels beating NC State 80-69, the final score. Carolina with the 11-point win. Thanks for being with us here on the Carolina Insider.
Glove's going to get a run out. He hammers it down.
It's live action out there.